Hi everyone, welcome back to our Daily Clues by Sam. We have another tricky one today, and if you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a daily logic puzzle game where there are 20 people on a board. Each of them must be either a criminal or an innocent, and they might give you clues to help you figure out what all of the people are. And there is a link in the description to take you to 2 days if you want to play along with me. I'm gonna start mine right now and explain my logic as I go, so shall we start? We start with Kevin telling us that Tina is one of Stella's 5 criminal neighbors. So, Tina is a criminal, and Stella has 5 criminal neighbors. So, Stella has 8 neighbors total, 5 of them are criminals, which means that 3 of them are innocents, and one of those innocents is Kevin. Now, Tina says that there's only one innocent in row 3. That means that at least Kevin is in row 3, so he's the only innocent in row 3. That makes everybody else a criminal. That's good. We don't need Tina's clue anymore, so we can dismiss that. That's 3 of Stella's 5 criminal neighbors. Now Layla says that row 4 is the only row with exactly 2 criminals. So there's gonna be a second criminal here in row 4, but we don't know who yet. Nicole says that exactly one innocent to the right of Anna is neighboring Gabe. So Gabe has 2 people to the right of Anna that neighbor him. And one of them is an innocent, because exactly one innocent neighbors Gabe to the right of Anna. And the other one is a criminal then. But we don't know about Anna. And Olaf says that Ivan is one of 3 criminals in column D. So Ivan is a criminal then. There's one more in that column that we have to find. Ivan now says that there are more criminals in row 3 than row 5. Well, there's 3 criminals in row 3, so row 5 can have at most 2. And we know that if there are 2, I guess Rowan could still be a criminal if Xavier is a criminal. And these 2 guys are innocents. So let me think better about that. Criminals, we're talking about criminals. We know that row 4 has 2 innocents, right? And 2 criminals. And that row 4 is the only row with exactly 2 criminals. So we know that row 5, having less than 3 criminals, couldn't have 2. Even though 2 is less than 3. If row 5 had 2, it would have the same number of criminals as row 4. So row 5 has only 1 criminal at most. It couldn't have everybody here be a criminal, because if everyone in row 5 if everyone in row 5 were an innocent, then Stella would have more innocents than she should, neighboring her. So if there is at most 1 criminal in row 5, it couldn't be Zach, first of all, because if it were Zach, same thing for Stella, she would have more innocents than she should. So Zach has to be an innocent in this situation. And that makes Rowan a criminal, right? Because if there's only 1 criminal down here in row 5, then where's the 5th criminal for Stella? 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th one has to be Rowan. So now we know that the 2 criminals for row 4 are Rowan and Tina, which makes Stella and Uma innocents. And we got a lot of people in that single clue, or putting these 2 together. Do we need Ivan's clue? I don't think so. You just gotta remember that there's only 1 criminal here. Uma now says there's an odd number of criminals neighboring Hope. So where's Hope? Okay, Hope has 4 criminals already neighboring her, and she's gonna have a 5th one who's either Bobby or Chuck. So you know that Gabe and Irving are the same thing, because if they were opposites, then Hope would have an even number of criminals neighboring her. That would be 6. So they are the same, Irving and Gabe. What else do we know? There's 3 criminals in column D, so Irving is a criminal, and that makes Gabe a criminal as well, because of what I just said. And now Gabe says that there are 6 innocents on the edges total. Innocents. So we know that Stella is gonna have 2 innocents neighboring here her here on the edge. Let's say that they were Vicky and Wanda. Fun fact, in Portuguese, we say Wanda when the name starts with a W. We also say W instead of W. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 Innocents down here and 1 Innocent up here who's either Bobby or Chuck. If there are 6 Innocents total on the edges, that makes Anna and Floyd both criminals. That was easy. That was nice. Now Floyd says that Stella and Tina have only 1 innocent neighbor in common. So are Stella and Tina. Stella and Tina have 4 neighbors in common total. 2 of them are already criminals, and if they have to have only 1 innocent, that means that Wanda and Xavier are opposites. One of them is innocent, the other one is a criminal. Let's use the colors to our advantage, and now we know that Vicky is an innocent because the last criminal neighbor for Stella is down here, so Vicky is an innocent. Vicky tells us now that there are more innocents in row 1 than row 2. And we know that there's 1 innocent in row 1, who's either Bobby or Chuck. So row 2 couldn't have any, which makes Hope a criminal. And now Hope tells us that exactly 1 doctor has an innocent directly to the left of them. Where are all the doctors? Kevin doesn't have anybody to his left. Tina has an innocent to her left. So that's the 1 doctor that has an innocent, which means that Chuck couldn't have one. Bobby is a criminal then, which makes him an innocent. And now Bobby says there are more innocent doctors than innocent farmers. Where are the farmers? So these 3 people are farmers. And what about the doctors? Kevin, Tina, and Chuck are doctors. So we have 2 innocent doctors, which means we could have only 1 innocent farmer, and we already do. That's Vicky. So Wanda is a criminal, which makes Xavier an innocent. That was good. Very nice. 7 minutes. That felt okay, like a good time. I think it was a bit less tricky than yesterday's, which makes sense given the time, but also I spoke a lot more about different mechanics yesterday. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were quite on the same level. But you can let me know what you thought of it, and I'll leave you here. I'll be back again tomorrow with more Clues by Sam, so see you then. Bye bye.